The senator from Virginia.
Mr. President, I rise today on a happy occasion to discuss a House bill, H.R. 984, the Thomasina E Indian Tribes of Virginia Federal Recognition Act. This is a bill with a long history, and we're joined in the chamber by the chiefs of 6 Virginia tribes whose past, present, and certainly future are connected to this bill. And I will speak briefly, and then Senator Warner will speak, and the matter will be called up for a voice vote. Various objections have been heard and then cleared, and so we're now ready to move forward to this bill, which passed the House in May. This is about Virginia tribes that were here and encountered the English when they arrived at Georgetown in 1607, the tribes of Pocahontas and so many other wonderful Virginians. They are living, breathing, active tribes. They've never been recognized by the federal government for a series of reasons. First, they made peace too soon in a way, and they've been punished for that. They entered into peace treaties with the English in the 1670s. Second, many of their tribal records were destroyed in the Civil War. And third, a state official destroyed other of their records during the 1920s through 1960s. But the power of these tribes, having achieved state recognition beginning many years ago, and they've never given up hope that they would be recognized by the U.S. government just as they have been recognized for hundreds of years by the government of England. In fact, last spring they went to England to celebrate the 400th anniversary of the death of Pocahontas, and they were treated as sovereigns, treated as respect, and all they've asked is to be given the same treatment by the country that they love. This bill for tribal recognition was first introduced by a Virginia governor, then Senator George Allen, in the 107th Congress. A House companion bill to the Senate version was passed in May, and that's the third time that the House has passed this bill, first in 2009, first in 2007, and second in 2009. I've had many productive discussions, as has Senator Warner, over the last months about the bill, various questions about the history, and we now are in a position where all objections have been cleared and we're ready to move ahead. It's such a treat to be joined here by the chiefs. It's such a treat to be joined by my colleague, my senior senator. Senator Warner has worked tremendously hard on this, as have I, from the day he was governor. And I also have to give praise to Congressman Whitman on the House side, who's worked very, very hard to get to this day. It's a fundamental issue of respect and fairly acknowledging a historical record and a wonderful story of tribes that are living, thriving, and surviving, and that are a rich part of our heritage. And this is a happy day to stand up on their behalf. And with that, Mr. President, I would like to yield to the senior senator.
Mr. President.
The senator from Virginia.
Mr. President, let me join my friend and colleague, Senator Kaine. We and some of the folks who were in the gallery today were not sure this day would ever come. But even here in the United States Congress, the United States Senate, occasionally we get things right. And boy, oh boy, this is a day where we get things right on a civil rights basis, on a moral basis, on a fairness basis. And to our friends who are representatives, some of the 6 tribes who are finally going to be granted federal recognition, we want to say thank you for their patience, their perseverance, their willingness to work with us and others. This has become an issue over the last 20-plus years. Democrats and Republicans alike in Virginia have acknowledged the fact that these 6 tribes, whose history predates any European settlement in this country, whose history goes back, as Senator Kaine mentioned, where they were recognized by the United Kingdom and recognized by the British government when they controlled our country. But through a series of circumstances, in many cases abetted by backwards-looking government earlier in the 20th century in Virginia, that discriminated against these Native Americans in ways that were outrageous, where in many ways records that told of their proud history in our Commonwealth were destroyed after the Civil War in fires and courthouses. These tribes have persevered, and today, finally, they are going to be granted the federal recognition, the respect that goes with that federal recognition, and they will be granted certain additional opportunities in terms of special education, housing grants, affordable health care services, and most importantly, the ability to recover important artifacts in their history. As has been mentioned, this bill has already passed the House, and Rob Whitman, a Republican member, has been a champion. History, both of us, Senator Kaine and I, both as governors, as in that role of governor, one of the things that happens every day, every Thanksgiving Day, is these tribes come in and, in effect, pay their taxes to the Commonwealth of Virginia. And while Virginia has recognized these tribes for some time, every year when we would have this ceremony, one of the most moving ceremonies that I know I participated as governor, I think Senator Kaine, think about Senator Allen, who was also a champion on this issue before us. These tribes would come in and say, when will the United States government recognize their existence, their history, and their legacy? Well, that wait is finally over. In a moment, I'm going to be asking for unanimous consent, and the long wait will come to an end. So, Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the Indian Affairs Committee be discharged from further consideration of H.R. 984 and the Senate proceed to its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report.
H.R. 984, an act to extend federal recognition to the Chickahominy Indian tribe, and so forth.
Is there objection to proceeding to the measure? Without objection, the committee is discharged.
I know of no further debate on the measure.
The Senate will proceed to the measure. Is there further debate? If not, the question is on passage of the measure. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The bill is passed.
Mr. President.